So I'm gonna start something called a data talk. With a data talk, pretty much what I want it to be is I'm gonna choose an. We're gonna do a couple enemies. What I'm gonna do is I'm gonna choose an enemy, like talk about it, and describe it a bit. So here's one of the basic enemies you first find in the game. He's not that strong. He's weak against a decent amount of stuff, but at the same time, he is armored. So I recommend if you're fighting level 60 of these, or level 30, and you're like level 15, I recommend getting a bit stronger. Not because I'm saying you're weak, but you actually can do some decent damage. So here's some of the mods you can drop. Pressure point, this one is actually a really good one to get until you get a certain character, which gives you another one. List, diamond skin, I don't use much. It's not that good for me because doesn't help me at all. But heat change, that could be good if you use it. Which these three down here, it's normal to get in Indo because it's really needed for most stuff. So heavy trauma, iron phoenix, and streamline. Streamline is a good thing to have. Heavy trauma is, I recommend only use it if your weapon's like a heavy weapon. You can use it for lighter weapons too, but I recommend just light weapons. I recommend using like elemental stuff, but heavy weapons I recommend using like impact damage. But Iron Phoenix is a type of fighting style, so you get that from him. But yeah, next we have the runner. So the runner, as you can see, he was a corpus soldier, but it got mutated into like infested. So, a runner, you can find these many things. As it says, he's fast with weak claw attacks. So he can strike fast, but he doesn't do much damage. Which it's good, but also that means for those people who go melee, be a bit careful, because if you're not high enough level to fight this, he can actually destroy you very easily. Range people, I recommend you can stay range, but watch out, he will run quite quickly to you, so watch out. Next one, the leaper. The leaper it's like the runner, but instead of him, he runs quite slow, but as you see, he leaps quite fast, and his leap does do knockback, so watch out. Because when he leaps, he actually does decent knockback, which can knock you down, and like if you're being dragged, and as soon as you get finished you're being dragged, and he's about, like, you can tell when he's about to jump at the same time. But he was a corpus that got turned into an infested. But he would drop assault mode. I never got assault mode, so I don't know if it's good. That one I recommend only fighting if you're fighting like infested bosses. That is good, but it's not that good. This I recommend using if you want like to do like if you jump a lot. I recommend using this. So some of these I haven't used, so as you see, but he is mostly health. But as you see, he's mostly health. So he has 100 health, which, yeah. Next one is the charger. The charger.
A new alert has. It will be marked on navigation.
So the charger was a Grenier, but got in fact turned into that. As you can see, he was a Grenier, but got turned into that. So chargers have 80 health. That might not be a lot of health, but if there's a group of them, then they can like take you out really quickly if you're not careful. But as it says, it's just like the runner, fast with weak claw attacks. But remember, recommending, he does run quite quick, and if he's in a pack, I recommend staying really far away, because the pack can do a lot of damage if he's in a pack. I think, yeah. Speed trigger I recommend using for bows. This is a type of like combat thing. I think this is either infection, like it gives you like an infection, or like lightning. I think it's lightning. Region, I haven't got some of these, but what's the difference from this endo and this endo? This one is gives you more than this one. Next one. Oh, hang on, I messed up. So crewman. One of the basic enemies as well. All those other guys were basic. So, the crewman, he does have shield, but he is weak. So, if you use fire type weapons, like weapons that uses flames, I recommend adding like a bit of. But fire does do decent damage, but I recommend using a weapon that can destroy his shield, then use a fire weapon. And now it doesn't say that fire is good, but sometimes you can't put all of them on there. But you can find them at most of these. So, as the same thing with the endo. No return is pretty much, it takes longer for your, like if you throw a weapon, it takes longer for it to come back, which it mostly hits, bounce off a lot of more stuff. Reach increases how far I think certain weapons or certain abilities go far. Ammo dub, I recommend, like that is definitely good to equip, because if you're not careful, you can lose your ammo quick. But, Fury increases how fast your melee attacks. Reaping Spur is like, I think I have that. It's when you have two weapons and you can like do little spin attacks. But next guy is him. So he is so he's advanced, but so he's the basic from Mars. If you see him, and so he's the basic from Mars, but you can only find him in Mars. But he's basic, and at the same time, he's not that basic. Like, he's the basic thing you find on Mars. As I said before, he kind of gives you the same stuff as that, except for the only thing different is, I think, yeah, there's nothing different. But the only thing different is, he has more shield and health than I think the other guy does. Let me check. No, he has the same, my bad. But, okay. So we're going up to the Oricon. So this is a corrupted butcher. So the corrupted butcher was a Grenier, but hang on, if I can make him turn. That thing on his face corrupted him and made him into a corrupted butcher. Which you can find him in Void and Luna, but he drops ammo. Okay. So power throw, as I see, is like you can throw and it can, like, if you're lucky, it can punch through the enemy. I don't use that because my flamethrower is meant to go range and not go through enemies. But infected clip, and I think means it does more damage. Infected finishing touch, it means it does more damage when you're doing the finisher. Thumper, I think, I don't know all of these, so please do not judge me. But he has armor, but it's not like really strong armor. So next guy is corrupted crewman. So was a crewman, but he's corrupted. You can only find him in the void, but he has more shield. Hang on, let me check. Does he have more shield? No, he doesn't. So he is the same everything else, but just corrupted. So he will drop. Steady hand, I think, is good. Fired up is definitely good, I think, if I'm taking the right one. Suppressor, yes, if you're doing silent missions. Most of the time when you do silent missions, I usually just run up behind the enemy and like stab them. But if you want to be quietly shooting, I would say this. Quick return, I think, makes it so it doesn't like bounce. Yeah, makes it so it does less bounces. Corrupted Lancer is the same thing as the Lancer, but the only difference is you can find him only in the void. But this, you can find him in Earth and Uranus. He gives you the same thing, but he's a bit, he is a different color because this is like a different rank, I think. He's still a Lancer though, so. Kubro, you only find them on Earth. Kubro are actually, as I read this, I'll read this first. After the falling of the Orokin, these former pets were left to fend for themselves. The only vicious survive, evolved into deadly pack hunters that now prevent every inch of Earth's desiccated forest and intensity herd. The Kubos will attack any creature unlucky enough to cross their path. So as you see, these are a lot of good mods. I recommend as soon as you get a Kubro, upgrade Maul as fast as you can. Like Maul is like the basic bite attack, but if you upgrade that as soon as you start, like upgrade as much as you can, or make it so it still fits. Because if you upgrade Maul to a decent damage, like I'm pretty sure they can like bite a level 30 and just kill him instantly. But Scavenger is good if you want to have a looting dog. If you like upgrade the Scavenger to 100%, they'll guarantee. I think guaranteed will they be able to unlock like walls and all that, like lockers and that type of stuff. But tagged is good because it I think it makes it so you don't take as much damage. Bite and Maul are kind of similar, but I recommend using Maul because I think Bite costs a bit more. I'm not really sure though. But they have 50 armor and 200 health. We already talked about the Lancer, so I'm gonna skip over him to go to Moat. This is a Moat. This is part of the corpus. So the robot doesn't have armor, so he has shield and robotics, which means robotic health. You can find him in like a decent amount of places, but the difference is Smith Grenier. I think that means it does a lot of damage to Grenier. North Wind is like it does cold damage, which I think that could be helpful. Like if you use a weapon that uses ice or coldness, I recommend using that. But next one is Lorican drones. Okay, so these drones are like the robots, but so I think this one is the one that, so what it does is it flies around and gives certain allies shield, which they do give you certain stuff, like so Guardian and Coolant Link and Fired Up I think is for your little sentinel creatures, but they are part of the Oricans, as it says in the thing. Then the Orican Sentinels are a bit different, because these are trap activated, so if you trigger a trap, they will start shooting you like crazy, so watch out for them. These are part of the Oricans. There's not much, they don't give you much, so I recommend pretty much if you fight them, just one shot them and run as fast as you can if you're doing a mission. So you catch him, you get this guy from the new area. It is also known as you go to Venus, and this is one of the creatures you can catch. But I recommend if you're catching him, wait for him to go by his nest, and just because when they go to the nest, they're gonna relax a bit because they're gonna feel like they're safe. Then if they're in a pack, what you should do is do with a team, or when they're by themselves, shoot and then get as close as possible, like shoot and get them. They aren't worth that very much. They're the basic, but they still are good, because if you get the basic, I'm pretty sure me and my friend caught one of these, and we were able to get about 400 standing for one of these, because we got a perfect catch with this. So if you're good at hunting and you like take no time at all, you can hunt this guy. But what I mean by hunt is not, you don't run off, stab him, and kill him or anything. You shoot him with a tranquilizer dart. So you have to talk to the businessman in order to hunt these types of creatures. They are interesting, and if you collect and not capture enough, you will be able to get a little stuffed animal. I'll show you the stuffed animal in a little bit. But this is so if you are a melee person, never run up to these. Like, unless you can one-shot them, do not run up to these. Because pretty much what they do is they run up to you and explode. Like, especially if you're doing, like, if you're, like, as you see, fast and explode when near enemies. You can, like, trigger them. It's like you can walk by them, then jump out of the way as soon as they explode. I do that sometimes, but remember that if you're not careful, they can just destroy you in one shot if they're that strong. But Point Blank is a really good mod. Like, it's really good. And also, if he explodes, you don't get any of the loot. You have to kill him to get the loot. So if he explodes and commits suicide on himself, no loot for you. But concussion rounds, I think, are like poison rounds. Point Blank, I recommend if you get it, upgrade it, because it's really helpful. Because I'll show you some of the mods I have. This is also another hunting creature you can hunt. This is a common. I haven't scanned him enough, but I scanned him a decent amount of times. But as the same thing, if you want to hunt these, you have to hunt a certain amount of poppers, or you can just upgrade your rank high enough. These guys usually travel by themselves. Oh, I forgot to read the poppers. My bad. Here, I'll read the poppers. Natural to fungus forest on Venus. The poppers are a scared rodent that possess an object odor, always found in groups, and
New alert marked on navigation system.
they flee at the slightest hint of trouble. They are primary food source are villains and sagas. I don't know completely what that means. So, a sleek and slim, adorable appearance of the Venus Venos. Its aggressive, demanding, favorite rocky landscape. Venus packs nose and air and sends poppers. Its primary food source. So what they're saying is poppers is its primary food source. So let's see. I'm gonna do one of them. I'm gonna do some bosses, and since I haven't done a sentinel, let's do some sentinels. So I'm gonna do this one. I have researched, so those are people who don't know much about the Eidolon. I'm going to do this for you, if it loads. The Eidolon. So this guy, you need a gift to fight him. Like, don't even try going solo unless you have like a mod that can destroy stuff very fast. So, his shield and his... Okay, so his shield is different than your normal blue shield. His is, I think, a void shield. With a void shield, you can only damage it by shooting void at it. Which, his armor is not, like, that strong, but he has this much health. So, I recommend, yeah, doing with the team, if you can. An ancient Eidolon search its lost spirit, trying to make itself whole. But it can give you some of these mods. I use these two, the Collaborative Forest and Crash Course. I think that was useful and good. Mimics. Mimics, you have to do a certain quest to find and research them. But mimics are actually kind of hard to find, because what they do is they mimic an object. As you see in Mimic, they're part of the Sentinels. They can give you cores, but don't always count on it. It might be a round shot, but it's still rare for them to drop cores. They might not even drop anything most of the time. The Sentinel ambush opponents by taking form of mutual objects. Now, I haven't took a picture of the stalker yet, because anytime he shows up, my team would always run right ahead of him. Okay, so this is a boss. I'm gonna show the bosses. So this is one of the event bosses, which you can get him from an alert, which he can give you some good stuff if you're careful. He has a decent amount of health. Armor's not that strong. He gives you all these. Or this is a good thing to get. Or I can sell is really good. And I scanned him a lot, so I'm gonna see if some of these I have scanned a lot, so I know what I'm talking about. we're gonna talk about more later. But this is my first episode. I was gonna post and see how you guys react, and if you like it, I'll do more. If you guys don't like it, I won't do more. For right now, here's one of the basic bosses you fight. Is Captain Vor. Regions unknown because I haven't either. It doesn't tell you, or I haven't scanned him completely. But he has shield, 900 shield, 900 health, and 250 armor. To some people, that's like a lot when you first start out. But if I'm not saying I'm a pro, but for some people that are pros at this, like they can just destroy 900 armor with one swipe of their weak weapon. But as pretty much what it does, what armor does, is kind of increase. Okay, so it's pretty much adding on to the I think you either multiply it or add on to the shield and health, which that's what armor pretty much does. If you see, he would have a void key right here, which after you kill him, you get the void key. A corpus boss. I forgot to scan it, didn't I? Well, this is actually a corpus boss, but you fight this guy with a person. You fight him when you fight LV. You fight this as well, unless you're doing like the infested one. Then you just fight LV. I haven't been taking much research. I might research a bit more though, because this, yeah. As you can see, he has 15,000 shield, 25 armor, and 1,000 health. But if you guys like it, I might do. You guys can even recommend certain enemies for me to try to scan and try to get. But I do have a lot of these scanned. But recently, me and my friend fought one of these things. I know you're like, oh, this thing's easy and that type of stuff. That we were fighting this, but that wasn't the hard thing we were fighting. We were fighting that. This. Oh, sorry, I didn't let you see it. We were fighting this as well, and also we were also fighting, if I can find it, this. Which this looks easy. Like if you guys are probably like, oh, it's a 10,000 CA, that's less than most of the other guys. Yeah, it's less. But it regenerates incredibly fast. Like I was shooting it. Like even like all the little enemies were shooting him because I was able to like switch them around. His shield, like the enemies were like level 60 and he was like level like 40. His shield was like regenerating as they were shooting him. Like if you had it reload, like, and if you ever fight him, remember to bring a big magazine or something that does a lot of damage. Because as soon as that shield's down, you better switch to something that can do damage to that health. But hang on, what's this? Oh yeah, so these, yeah, I think you find them. I don't remember finding one of these, but you get these. It's all gold because I think these are rare. I'm not completely sure. I haven't fought one of these in a while, but known as the Hyena HG is the latest version of the Hyena. To be the protector of an annual corp, this model has been proceeded to index points. Alright, if you fight index, the index challenges, you can actually fight one of these. I know that most people, like when you're doing index points, index challenges, you don't scan the creatures, you fight and kill them. Yeah, but I was scanning because I was trying to see some stuff. But as you see, that. But if you guys like this video, even if you didn't, I recommend you like to tell me what type of Warframe stuff you want to see. What was it? I'm trying to remember. I don't have any Orkin bosses right now because I don't know if there's any. I've tried it. I don't know how, but if you guys have any tips to triggering the stalker, if I can, I'll try to take a picture of them if I can. But right now, I'm trying to build. I'm trying to build her right now. This Warframe right here. But I'm gonna show you some of my builds with Excalibur. This is some of my builds. I know this is a broken mod. This is the only one I have right now, so I am using it. But this is some of my like stuff, my build for it. I say if you have steel charge, definitely put that on, because this character is definitely good with melee, because he has this. This is like a melee secondary weapon for him. But I recommend using the axe. He was already assigned with this. This is what he starts out with. But I prefer not to use it. I prefer to use the axes, because that's, yeah, I think, no, wrong gun. Because you can, because there's swinging tigers. You can get the different things you can fight with is crane mantis, crossing snakes, and swinging tigers. And here's some of my stuff. Fury is not okay. So our thing with Fury is I do it to make it go fast, but I recommend using Fury on like giant, like heavy weapons, because if it's heavy weapons, yeah. Okay, so pretty much this is my build for my melee weapon. I usually mostly use my flamethrower. As I was saying, Crash Chorus is like very good for impact. Like if you are using like a heat weapon, I recommend using like this and a bit of this. But as I said, definitely use ammo dope, and if you can, use fast hands. I don't recommend using Versal Sense if you ever got it, because unless your gun is like guaranteed to get a critical, I'd rather not use it. My flamethrower is actually really good at criticals, so that's why I'm using a critical. But as I was saying, this is level 3. This is level 1. Level 1, it has a 25% chance, but if you upgrade it like to 3 times, it can increase the chance. So if you shoot, no one will hear it. But what was it? If you guys want, next time I'll explain some of the classes or different types of stuff if you guys like this video. And if you guys want, you guys can even, as I said before, you guys can say what creatures you want me to try to research, and I'll try my best to research them. What just happened? What just happened? Okay. That was a bit weird, but okay. But if you guys remember, as I said, if you guys want me to research some of the stuff, if you want me, my friend can even try to research some of the stuff. Like, if my friends are willing to, like me, him or her, we can try going to certain planets and try and like gain more data about certain like types of creatures. And if you want, but what I recommend is, if you want us to research a creature, tell us like what faction and what place we might be able to find it. Because if you're just telling us, oh, look for this creature, I have a lot of them that I still don't know. So if you say look up this creature, I might not know what creature or what person you're talking about. But if you guys, as I said, I'm gonna repeat this a lot, you guys can recommend creatures, things you can research, and all that type of stuff. But thank you for watching, and hope you have a great rest of your day.